like every other Indian reader, I started reading Amish with Immortals of Meluha, which is probably his masterpiece, and he has written some great books even after that, but this book is regarded in public opinion his best work yet, even though my favorite from him is Sita, Warrior of Mithila. Now, I had no idea that Amish, a writer who writes such great mythological fiction, can write a non-fiction which is so brilliant that will make me say that every Indian must be reading this book. So this book is Immortal India, where a lot of articles and speeches by Amish are recorded, and most of them deal with the present social conditions of India and the past condition of India, and how we can revive the past glory of India through our actions. And it's absolutely amazing when a writer like Amish is writing such stuff for social cause, because he has influence. There are few writers who can cater both to mass and to classes, and Amish is one of those few amazing people. No wonder that he knows that he has a lot of responsibility towards this world. What makes Amish's book such a delight to read is that Amish is a very well-read person. If you read any work by him, especially this one, has the evidence in every page, but even if you read his fiction books, you will understand that he has read a lot, and there is nothing more attractive than a well-read man, because his intellect reflects on the pages and you feel like you're in the company of somebody who's so elegant. Without any further ado, let me tell you guys about this book. This book is divided into 4 sections. One deals with religion, one deals with social issues, one deals with the history of ancient India, and the last deals with Amish's own personal life, his lessons and reflections. I absolutely loved the culminating chapters because Amish's life is very inspirational. He's one of my inspirations and I absolutely love what he writes. One portion that is of a significance to each and every Indian is the one which deals with social issues. So let me just open a chapter. There's an amazing chapter that he writes in social issues, and it is LGBT rights and section 377. If you are an Indian, you know how varied people's opinions are this day, especially the ones who are from an older generation. But Amish says that it's nothing against culture. In fact, there's evidence from ancient texts that LGBTQ community was quite prevalent in India and it was quite respected as well. He gives several examples and I'm just saying it from the book itself. There's the famous example of Shikhandi from the Mahabharata, who proved to be the nemesis of Bhishma himself. King Bhangaswan was a man who later changed into a woman, comfortably exercising his freedom of choice. The founder of the great Chandravangshi clan, Ila, was born a girl. At one stage, she transformed into a man named Ila and sired more children. Now the thing is, Hindu community laws often get very regressive, but they really need to read these ancient texts and then they'll realize that they are actually fussing about nothing. My problem with activism in India nowadays is most of the people are not well read. If only they had read the ancient texts where everything began, they would have been such better people now. And that not only applies for India, that also applies for all movements across the world. If you're standing up for a cause, be like Amish, read. Just read as much as you can on any topic that you are showing activism about. Another very important chapter of this book was one regarding Ram and his responsibility. A lot of people do not like Ram because he was not a good husband, and obviously I am one of those people, but then I also have to accept the fact that he himself was a very unhappy man. Then I have to think both ways. If he was not a good husband for Sita, it was because he was a great king and his responsibility to thousands or lakhs of people was more important to him than that to his wife. I can't justify that, but then I have to walk in his shoes to make those decisions, and I definitely can't walk in his shoes. So I'm definitely not at a position to judge Lord Ram, and that thought is something that I gained from this book, because before reading Immortal India, I hated Ram with all my heart. But then this book actually taught me to watch this thing from a different perspective. When you change your perspective, everything changes. I think that this book was very influential towards me because it helped me change the way I see Ram and Indian mythology in general. Another very important aspect of this book is to tell us about the glory of women in ancient India. Now, something that is really amazing that I found out in this book is that there are different versions of Sita in different books. Sometimes she is displayed very submissively, sometimes she's displayed in a very strong manner. Now, which is true, which is not something that we can judge today, but if I had to, I will look at her as a very strong character. So Amish writes, while the hugely popular Tulsidas ji's Ramcharitmanas depicts Lady Sita as submissive and docile, the original Ramayana scripted by Maharishi Valmiki has a much stronger Lady Sita, portrayed as a woman with a mind of her own. Lady Sita of Adbhut Ramayana is a fierce warrior goddess. Even Lord Manu, the apparent torchbearer of Hindu patriarchy, had espoused that where women are honored, the gods are pleased. With every chapter that I read in Immortal India, I felt that if only every Indian read everything that Amish has read, at least half of what Amish has read, India would have been a better country. And every time I read a good book, this is what comes to my mind. World is going to be so much better if all people read, and that is why I began my channel, to make people read. And I don't know how far I've been successful, but I'm pretty content with the number of people who say that, hey Helly, I started reading for you. But I feel really special when you do that. But please do read good books like those of Amish, and those Amish himself has read. He has told about a number of them in this book, and that is the main reason why I want every Indian to be reading this book. You need to be well read to create a better society, and education we receive in schools is just not enough. I'd like to end this video with the outlook that Amish has told about in his book. So Amish writes that when he was getting rejected for the manuscript of his first book everywhere, he still did not give up, and he still felt that it was not a waste of time. Often when writers write a book and it is not accepted anywhere, they feel that, oh my god, I wasted my time. And even us, people who don't really write, but if we give an effort in doing something and it does not work out, we feel like, oh my god, I wasted my time. But Amish writes, not for a moment did I think that I had wasted my time in writing this book. Even when it seemed that my book would never get published, I'd already started writing my second book. I know that had my books failed, I'd still be working in the banking sector. But I would also be writing, even if my books remained in my laptop, even if the only people reading my books would be my long-suffering family, I would continue to write. And this is called passion, guys. This is called passion. And I'm so happy that Amish has achieved whatever that he has today. He's a great writer. He is a great human being. Small disclaimer, not everything in this book, in my perspective, is correct. Because there are two reasons. We are two different human beings and we can't agree on each and everything. Disagreement is the sign of a healthy community. And the second reason is that this book, most of the chapters of this book are from 2014, and I am living and reading this book in 2018. So there are a lot of things which are not the same, especially a few chapters that he has written on religion. But most of it was very, very good. So make sure you're reading this book and all other books by Amish. The links are in the description below. A special place will be reserved in hell for the people who are going to comment that they have books by Amish signed by him, because I don't. I really want to, but I have not had the chance to meet him as yet because of the place I live in. But I really hope that someday I will be able to travel when I'm not a student anymore. So yeah, I hope that I get the chance to meet him and get my books signed, because he's such an amazing man, and I feel that he is the kind of writer each Indian must be reading. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. In case you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. In case you like or don't like Amish Tripathi's writing style, just comment below, because I'd like to converse with you guys about Amish, because I absolutely love this writer. In case you guys want to send me direct contributions towards my channel, you can do that by sending me Amazon gift cards to my email ID, which is in the description below. Thanks a lot to Muhammad Izhar, who is a contributor for today's video. Thank you so much for loving my channel. Keep supporting like you do. And till my next video, bye bye.